Are there serious problems at Liverpool, or is this just social media / mainstream media bigging up things that are minor in comparison to how they're describing it? Hey guys, Fletch here, bringing you another Fletch Talks video, and in this video we're going to be centering around the issues that are going on with Liverpool Football Club right now, the defending Premier League champions. The Reds have started the season with 3 wins, 1 draw and 1 loss from their opening 5 games. 3 wins on the trot was followed by a humbling and brutal reality check in the form of a 7-2 defeat to Aston Villa. And then following the international break and this past weekend, the Reds drew 2-2 in the Merseyside derby with Everton in a match in which the Reds were incredibly hard done by VAR's interference on a couple of occasions, which I've talked about in a previous video. During the game, Jordan Pickford's horror challenge on Virgil Van Dijk went unpunished. However, the result of the challenge has left Virgil Van Dijk needing knee surgery, which pretty much rules him out for a large amount of the season, and it could mean we possibly won't see the Dutch defender for the remaining part of the season either. Although the Reds remain hopeful that if all things go well, he will feature again at some point during this campaign. This injury has left many to question Liverpool's defence, and many are now challenging Liverpool to see how good they are without the Colossus Dutch centre-back. The questions began to arise following the resumption of Premier League football after lockdown, when Liverpool began making stupid and constant defensive mistakes that opposition teams were pouncing on and punishing, and now Van Dijk's injury will certainly highlight this more, at least amongst rival fans. The hole in this defence is now to be filled by Joe Gomez and Joel Matip. Of course, with Van Dijk's punctual record, they very rarely played alongside each other, but now that he isn't there, the spotlight is very much on this pair to carry Liverpool's defence over the course of his absence. Look, are Gomez and Matip at Van Dijk's level? Of course not. It'd be stupid of me to even make a case as to why they are. But they're not terrible defenders either. They are very, very good defenders who can strike up a very good partnership. It may take a little time, and I do worry about the fitness levels, especially of Matip in particular, who isn't the most reliable when it comes to being punctual, because he has a tendency to pick up nagging, minor and annoying injuries. But if he stays fit, if they stay fit together and they trust in each other and they form a decent partnership, I'm confident that they can do a very good job in filling Van Dijk's shoes. There's also the good news that Alisson, the goalkeeper Alisson, will be returning very soon. He will be just as vital to Liverpool continuing their title challenge this season in Van Dijk's absence as anyone. I don't think the Liverpool defence has as much faith in Adrian as they do with Alisson. And as a Liverpool fan, I am praying that Alisson gets back as soon as possible and stays fit, especially now that Van Dijk's injury has happened. Alisson is just as key to Liverpool's defence as he is, in my opinion. The Brazilian goalkeeper is scheduled to make his return to the starting lineup by the end of October, and given the past couple of games in which Adrian hasn't covered himself in much glory, his return can't come soon enough. Another issue that Liverpool are talked about as to being faced with is that of Roberto Firmino and his lack of goals. The Brazilian is yet to score for Liverpool this season, and if you remember last season, he constantly had the fact that he had failed to score a single goal at Anfield throughout the campaign until the final home game of the season, where he helped Liverpool to a 5-3 victory over Chelsea, loomed over him. I don't think I ever watched a game at Anfield, or even away from Anfield, where the commentator of that game didn't mention that fact at all. And look, let's face it, Liverpool fans know exactly what Firmino brings to the table. We all know how good he is. We all know that the key attributes that sets him apart is his pressing from the front, his skill and his flair, along with his playmaking ability and unselfishness. All of them things combined are key to how Klopp loves to play, and he is a big factor. He is a big factor to how and why both Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah, 2 wingers, have consistently and constantly got over 20 plus goals a season since arriving at Anfield. And it's because of the remarkable goal scoring records of both Mane and Salah that Firmino, not scoring often enough as his fellow teammates, hasn't been so much of a big issue before. Although, if you talk to rival fans, they claim it's a big issue. But more so recently, I feel his performances haven't been as up to par as what we've come to know from him and come to expect from him. He still works hard, don't get me wrong, he still works hard for the team and he's still putting in the effort levels, but sometimes he can be quite frustrating when he's on and off the ball. He's still very much loved by Liverpool fans, don't get me wrong, I still love him, he's still my favourite player and will always have a role to play at this club, but I feel like it might be time to freshen up the lineup a little bit and freshen up that front three. In January, Liverpool signed Takumi Minamino, a Japanese forward who plays very similar to Firmino. He's shown flashes of what he can do, and maybe a more consistent run in the team will give him the confidence and the ability to show people just exactly why Liverpool bought him. And then there's Liverpool's newest signing, Diogo Jota. Signed in the transfer window just gone from Wolves, the Portuguese winger is versatile across that forward line and could offer Liverpool the option of moving around the forward three throughout the entirety of a game. Jota possesses very good work rate, speed, and is very intelligent both on and off the ball in terms of his movement and vision. He offers something a little different to Firmino and Minamino, but is an option worthy of keeping in mind. These are said to be two of the biggest issues that are facing Liverpool right now. And as far as I'm concerned, I do believe that these issues are being blown up to more than they should be by mainstream and social media. Yes, Van Dijk's injury does mean that the Liverpool defence is weaker than it has been, but I still have faith and confidence in both Gomez and Matip, or even Fabinho if he decides to play Fabinho in there, that they can form a strong partnership, and especially more so with Alisson's imminent return. And as for the Firmino issue, yes, it is a little annoying that he doesn't get more goals. However, with his work rate and his link-up play, and with the way that he helps both Salah and Mane get plenty of goals to take them up to that over 20 goals a season mark for a campaign, he is a huge part of the team. As I mentioned, his performances haven't been as standout as probably what they have been in the past, and that's possibly why I would call for a bit of a change up to the lineup where he is a substitute for at least a few games. But that doesn't take away or change how important he is to this squad, and he's still one of my favourite, if not my favourite player. But of course, as always, this is just one man's thoughts and one man's opinions on this particular topic. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of the current state of the Liverpool squad? What do you make of Van Dijk's injury and the aftermath that will come from it? And what do you make of Roberto Firmino's form? And are these just issues that are being blown out of proportion, or do you think they're actually more serious than probably what I'm considering? Leave your thoughts, your comments and opinions down below. I'm sure they'll make for interesting reading. Otherwise, hit that like button on the way out if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new or want to see more content like this. Both things will always be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video. And I will see and speak with you all again soon in another video.